Hello everybody, I'm back with a new lesson. Today I'm going to teach you another literary figure of speech called transferred epithet. Now to understand transferred epithet, you have to know the exact meaning of the word epithet. Now when you consult the dictionary says it is a noun, it's the name of a thing, and what sort of thing it is? It is an adjective or phrase expressing a quality or attribute regarded as characteristic of the person or thing mentioned. So ideally it means that it is an adjective which describes the quality of a noun. Now for example, I have written sad Shanky. Shanky is a person and the quality is given sad. Dirty shoes. Long hot day. This is a phrase used for the day. So epithet is basically an adjective, okay, and the similar words we can find for epithet is either description, title, and there are many more. So just for understanding that, to understand transferred epithet, we need to understand what is an epithet first. Now going forward, let's understand the definition of transferred epithet. Now I've written here, when an adjective is transferred from an animate or a living being to an inanimate, that's non-living thing, it is called the adjective has been transferred. So what does it mean? In a sentence, you will find that the adjective which has been used with a noun actually refers to the person but not the object it is used before. Okay. Now, transferred epithet must not be confused with personification. Personification, what happens in personification? Human quality is given to non-human objects. Like the moon smiled at her arrival. So the moon is smiling. Moon, which is an inanimate object, has been used as a human being. But transferred epithet is a transfer of adjective from the thing it actually describes. Like she sat under the lonely cloud. Now I've used this lonely before the word cloud, but the cloud is actually not lonely. Who is lonely? This is the pronoun, the subject, she is lonely. So instead of using lonely with she, I have used it with cloud. So I have just transferred this adjective which apparently it's for she, but I have used it with the inanimate object cloud. So that's the transfer of epithet. I have got few more examples here. Look at this example. It has been taken from a very beautiful poem, Lord Ull's Daughter, stanza number 11, line number 3, written by Thomas Campbell. It's written here, Lord Ullin reached that fatal shore. Fatal means deadly, dangerous, which is life-taking. Okay? So look at the word fatal. It is used to describe the shore. What sort of shore? Fatal shore. But in truth, it is not the shore that is fatal, but the journey Lord Ullин's daughter and lover did on the boat, that was the fatal journey. So the shore itself is not fatal, but the journey on the boat. So we can see that the adjective fatal has been transferred to shore. Rather, it is actually the journey on the boat. So that is the transfer of the adjective, or in figure of speech, transfer of epithet or transferred epithet. One more example, we'll look at this one. Ria had a sleepless night. Now, night itself cannot be sleepless. Who can be sleepless? The person who had a terrible night. So it is Ria who could not sleep. But here the adjective or the epithet sleepless, which has been associated, which is actually associated with Ria, has been transferred to night. So this is called transferred epithet. Let's look at one more example very quickly. It has been taken from Daffodils, written by William Wordsworth. I've taken these two lines from stanza number 3, line number 3 and 4. A poet could not but be gay, gay means happy, in such a jocund company. I've given the meaning of the word jocund, it's happy or cheerful. So here, look at this word. The word company is actually the daffodils which are just dancing in the field. So jocund company. It indicates the daffodils, and it is not the daffodils which are feeling cheerful, happy, but the poet who is just passing by this fields of daffodil, he is feeling happy. So this word jocund, which actually means happy or cheerful, is associated with the poet who is passing by. But the poet has used not with himself, but he has transferred it from himself to the company, the daffodils which are there in the field. Okay, so that is called transferred epithet. I hope this has helped you to understand the concept of transferred epithet. If you have any question, leave the question in the comment section below. I'll come back to you with a new lesson very soon. Have a good day. Bye bye.